Oh, you said you had questions, Mike.
I do, but we can save it for another episode if you got
No,
something that you
shoot.
want to talk about.
No, I
Let's
don't.
go.
Well, it's another thing like Chad's there, so this might be
Well,
well.
that's
I guess we're
perfect.
into our worst hour, so this could be a good stopping point for that. This is based off of
Mike's
whichever of
questions
you
are
two.
part of the worst hour, not part of the good hour. We're
Yeah.
starting the worst hour now, and that's why we're letting Mike participate with his questions. Chad's questions were so superior, he got to talk in the first hour with his question. Go ahead,
uh,
Mike.
these are based. Thank you. These are based off of one of you two posted who's most likely to get sued. This is based off of that. So I'm gonna ask a question, and then we're all three gonna choose one of us as an answer for that question. And since I don't know what your guys' responses were for who's most likely to get us sued, that's our first question. Who's most likely to get us sued? And I say
Chad.
Chad.
Me too. Chad.
Why? Why? Like, just
You have
because
a
it's been
history.
Chad,
close
do you say
before?
Chad?
Yeah, I said Chad.
No,
No, what about Chad?
I think it's Paper King
Oh, really?
for sure. Yeah,
Why?
something's gonna slip one of these days, and boom, the handcuffs are coming out. We're all being subpoenaed.
All being subpoenaed. I picked you because you have history, man.
Yeah,
It's
I've
like you're
learned my lesson.
like a repeat offender, man. No
No,
one, you're a repeat
learn
offender.
learned your lesson, and then it doesn't happen again. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
What we need that media insurance, by the way.
We do.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Well, I'm sure they'll do a full search on my fucking Instagram. So go ahead and call it.
The deductible is going up like crazy every post they look
Oh,
through at Paper King. They're like 10,000, 20,000. These guys are uninsurable.
the deductibles.
Uninsurable.
Who did you pick, Mike? Chad?
Oh, Chad for sure.
Oh, come
Why?
on.
Why? Well, Chad, yeah, like you said, Chad's got the history, and then
Mhm.
it actually leads into my next question, and I've got the same answer to that as well, which is who is most likely to get us canceled?
Why?
Chad,
Because I'm
100.
not good? Is that what you're telling
No.
me? Am I the weak
You
link
were
here?
talking about the crippled guy cutting the grass. Like,
Who's getting canceled? The cripple?
No, you,
no,
us.
people who care about crippled people will cancel.
I don't know if you're aware, but our audience has a pretty thick skin. As landscapers and contractors, I think they're going to be okay.
You
I'm
still
just
think I
saying
still
who's
think I
most
want
likely.
most
Who's
likely to get
most
us
likely?
canceled.
Yeah.
Goddamn dogs. Get out of here.
Now the guy's kicking his dogs right
No,
on.
no, my wife just came to let the dog in.
So now he's like getting us canceled because he's kicking dogs.
I never hurt an animal. No animals were harmed in the
Chad is
making of
what's
this
that
podcast
quarterback
or
that
ever.
got caught with the dog fighting?
Michael Vick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Chad
right.
is the Michael Vick of housekeeping.
Come on, that's a terrible.
Oh,
That
damn.
is
That's
terrible.
terrible.
Yeah, that is awful. That's
Yeah.
why it's part of the worst hour.
No way! Don't spread that rumor.
So you're getting canceled. You're going to get us canceled.
Chad, what's your answer to that? Most likely to get us canceled.
Well, since you're so not provocative, it's gonna have to be Paper King again.
I think Mike could slip up the slip of the tongue with Mike
You
because
think
he
so?
never. Well, if we got him engaged in some conversation and he got carried away and he lost his calm demeanor, I think underneath there somewhere is some anger.
Some anger.
There's
Well,
some pent up rage.
eventually we need to do an episode, and maybe during the winter when we're not doing snow, where we just get blitzed and we just go through a bunch of audience questions.
Oh my god!
That could be an episode in the future, maybe.
I'm in.
We should do a live where you have to have a drink every time someone asks a question
That's good.
and then answer it.
Yeah.
And by the end of the hour, that would be an interesting.
All right. Are we
We
ready
should
for the
do
next
that one at the company cam studio.
That's right. Are we busting through on that podcast meetup?
Oh yeah, yeah. We got to bust the doors down. They need to learn. There's a new podcast. There's a new podcast in town.
Yeah.
It's for kids. It's unfiltered. It's green. It's got everything. It's got the life. Oh,
That's right. The Mulder life. Who is the diva of the group? If we had to choose somebody to be the diva, who would you pinpoint?
I think Mike is the diva.
You?
No, you, Mike. Why would I pick me? Do I want to be the diva? Is that good?
What define diva? Like what? Like Mariah Carey?
No, I would. I kind
Like
of choose that as somebody who.
I think you're the diva, and this is what I'm going to base it on.
Yeah,
Mike.
explain it.
I'm basing it on the fact that you want everyone to do everything for you. Bring me my bins. Bring me my materials. Deliver them to my driveway. I'm too good. I'm too good to do any of it myself. I don't do those type of things. That type of stuff is for Mike and Chuck.
Oh man,
Dirty trucks and their little dirty CVORs. I don't need all that in my life. I've got my own bin company, which actually canceled you. So maybe you're the most cancel. I'm just saying, I think you're the diva because you get everyone to do everything for you, and that is the diva lifestyle.
Well, I can't argue with that.
That
Who did you pick, Mike?
Well, I was gonna pick Chad, but since you said that, I gotta pick the Paver King.
Why am I a diva?
You canceled on us yesterday, so that's the only way
true.
I got to go.
Yeah. Okay. That's true. I didn't cancel on you. I got engaged in a conversation with
Mike. Oh, I see.
Probably something that makes him more money than this.
Probably not. Lately, no. Okay. Nothing that Kelly and I have talked about. No, it's like, yeah, no. Anyways, I think that I have some legitimate points for you being a diva, Mike.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I maybe would have chosen a different question. All right. Who on this podcast has provided the most value?
Wow.
In terms of this podcast specifically.
Really?
I think it's the guy who claims to provide the least amount of value.
I would say so too.
What value have I provided to this podcast?
I would say that you have if we're in a dry spell in an episode, you punch out one of these one-liners that just like launched the episode into the stratosphere. You can say that. What's the saying? Somebody said this way back when. You say in one line what others take a full book to say.
Wow.
But you can't sell one line and you can sell a book. So who's the real winner? Okay. I will strive. As long as I am not trying to be the most value-oriented account on Instagram, I'm good. There's a lot of competition there. I don't want to be part of it. So today, Jeremy tagged me in a video of tilt rotating. And of course, everyone knows I was harassing NCon about being and Earthworks commented and said, make this man an ambassador. And I thought it was like on something I posted. I was like, yeah, fucking right, make me an ambassador. And then I opened it up and I was like, oh, once again, this is someone commenting on someone else's post that's coming back to me. Where the fuck is Pave Tool on this shit? I want to be an ambassador.
I want to be an ambassador.
So, anyways.
I don't know why Pave Tool wouldn't make it an ambassador. The content that could come out of pulling patios with chains across the city.
I love this. In that thread of me in the boat, there's like 90 comments, and some of them are really funny. And one of them is, "This is what happens when you fuck with lateral pressures." I don't remember who
so
said
good.
It. Oh my god!
So
this is what happens to you when you fuck with the lateral pressure on your patio. Like, see, that's a product you're talking about. Like, we can't. I can't even buy that product.
Oh yeah,
I don't even know where to buy it. No one around me supply. The supplier we use is large. I'm not giving them a free shit out. They can pay me to talk about how great they are. And I called them and was like, hey, I need one piece of this ridiculous edging to make some videos. And probably good they didn't have it, because God only knows what road I could have gone down with that. And they were like, yeah, we don't even know what you're fucking talking about. And I was like, oh, okay. And then everyone wonders why I don't know who that guy is. Anyways, go ahead, Mike.
I'll do one more here. Looking back at this, I guess 6 months that we've been doing this, who's come the most prepared to the podcast?
Well, not I.
What are you talking about? You just ran a whole hour.
I know. I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna put Chad into that conversation at
For
all
one
until
time
today.
in the past 6 months, I brought something and it's been today. We're not turning the ship around today for me.
I'm gonna say Paver King, just
Why?
because he started the the hot or not that got us
the
like
hot or
a
not.
very good and then you did that either or as well. You thought of a lot of good concepts for this podcast.
Chad jumped on board them.
Yeah,
Really took it to the next level.
I'm
He
not
had
an
more than-
innovator. I'm a follower, apparently.
Not an innovator.
Not an innovator.
You have a Unilift. You're a fucking innovator.
I didn't invent the Unilift.
Yeah, but you using
just
it is the
bought it.
innovate. But using it is the innovation, right?
I suppose.
Taking the heat. You didn't quit. You didn't get on your boat and go home. You just kept pushing forward.
Yeah. Slam those papers.
Sam Moore 65 made fun of me, so I got on my boat and went home. Got on my boat and left, baby.
On that note, I wanted to buy an ASV today, skid steer.
Oh, yeah?
Apparently,
Really?
they were the first ones to make skid steers. But I don't know if this is true or not. Anyway, from all the videos, they make a fucking pretty phenomenal machine.
Their track system is really good.
Yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah, they invented that one. I guess they leased it to Cat for a bit.
Caterpillar used it for a while.
Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to buy one, and they said, "Oh, we have nothing available." I said, "Well, give me some pricing for when something comes in." They're like, "Well, the prices are going up in the new year, so there's nothing we can really do." So I'm like, "Okay, well, you have my number." Like, they are not trying at all to make a sale, right? They don't give a shit. They still don't think the sky is falling, apparently. But he texted me last night and he says, "Oh, we got one coming in." I said, "Okay, give me some numbers on 24 and 36 months." Hit me back today. The interest rate is now 7.4 or something like that, which seems pretty excessive, but
yeah,
just how it
for
rolls.
Machines that they used to give out for $0.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone.
And then they said, "Oh, you can't get the good financing because you're out of our sales territory." What the fuck does that mean?
Who's the dealership in your sales territory?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, so send me to the person in my territory. Apparently, they don't have it. Cornwall is not a territory. No one rules Cornwall.
So there's no one that sells ASV skid steers in your territory. But if you buy one from outside your territory, you have to pay a higher interest rate because you didn't buy it from the person that doesn't exist in your territory.
It's fucking bogus.
That sounds like a fucking scam.
Yeah, that sounds like a scam, right? That sounds like you don't want to make a sale because that's a little ridiculous. And
I know
the dealer's not far, right? It's 45 minutes.
Well, in our world, that's astronomically far, but we don't live in the middle of nowhere, so.
What do you mean? You can't go fucking 2 blocks in 45 minutes in Toronto sometimes.
Well, I don't live in Toronto. I live in Durham. I'm just saying.
Close.
I know that when we bought a skid steer, so our address was registered in Ajax at one time. Like when I worked at Ridge Lake or Lake Ridge. I mean, that guy's like sold the business. I doubt he's going to sue me. Maybe he would. He's an ass. But shouldn't have said that.
He wasn't going to sue you until you called him an ass.
Mike's the most likely to get us sued.
So our address was in Ajax for the office, and we bought the skid steer in Curtis. And because Ajax was actually Bobcat of Toronto's area, they had to pay Bobcat of Toronto for us buying a skid steer off them.
Yeah, I've heard of that. Ridiculous.
Yeah, so that's a territorial thing. But there is actually someone in our territory that sells the product. So the difference being that you can go out your door and no one sells that product. And if you buy it from someone who does sell that product, you have to pay extra because no one chooses to. You know what you should do if you, and this is a baller move because you have a big yard, is apply to be the ASV dealer in fucking Cornwall, and then just start selling them to yourself and have no other customers.
You think? Yeah, that would be a phenomenal idea if I could
You should just mess
buy an ASV
office.
dealership.
Should message them at head office and say, "What's the requirement of billing?" I had a at one point there was a manufacturer that was just opening up anything as a dealer in Durham region, and the problem was there's a contractor who had a fair sized yard that they made a deal. Well, that guy was beating me on some jobs because he's getting dealer pricing because he's only selling to himself.
Holy shit!
He's not selling to the public. He's just a dealer because he's. So I like literally messaged him and was like, "What are the requirements of being a dealer? I want to be a dealer." Because that manufacturer doesn't require you to stock product. It's a non-stocking dealership. You just pick it up from wherever. So I was like, well, I want to be a fucking dealer and I want to get dealer pricing like Joe Blow down the street there. And it was this like huge conversation, this like huge war. This is one of those times I picked a fight I didn't actually really care about that much. And they got super deep into it. And it was like
Another one.
I was like, all right, now I'm bored of this. And I moved on and never talked about it again till now. Like,
So you're going to be the edging salesman in
yeah, I should apply
your
to
region.
sell that fucking. I am worried about lateral. Like, I've thought about it since then, and I don't know how many lives I've destroyed with lateral shift.
Here's my problem. I've never had a patio move laterally, but I've had edging come up vertically. Right?
But it's on an angle.
What is it?
Those edgings, yeah.
Did you not watch the fucking video? Or you
No, I'm still. We're what, 6 weeks out? I haven't watched the video. I've heard enough about it that I feel like I've watched the video.
You should watch the video. This is me
Just
chucking.
tag me in it. I don't know even know where to find it.
This is me chucking a pen in my hat. There.
You automatically
fucking
gain
ready.
a lot of
Yeah, you automatically gain a lot of fucking
the wisdom. You're growing teeth
Yeah.
like crazy.
big ass tape measure. Fucking yeah. 100-footer. I need a 100-footer on my waist at all times. I get up in the morning, I'm naked, I carry the fucking tape measure. Hey, you're not a contractor if you're not carrying the tape measure to the bathroom with you in the morning. I shower with I soap a tape measure and then scrub my body with it because that's how much I love being a fucking contractor.
Oh,
Love it.
I do enjoy contracting most days.
So the only new vehicle I've ever bought in my life is the international dump truck.
Wow.
So I've never bought a new vehicle in my life ever. And I'm struggling with potentially buying a brand new truck for me, which I usually try to drive the oldest or Veloster or whatever and drive whatever is the worst thing that we have. I try to drive that. But I'm struggling to buy a new truck, but there's a used one. And the used one is one that I really, 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 really fucking wanted in 2017 and got kind of fucked out of. Or maybe it's 2000. Anyways, so I'm considering buying the used one only because it was the truck that I really fucking wanted and didn't get. But I understand the advantage of buying a new one, but I don't really want a new one. And I want a 2017 because that's the fucking truck I wanted and I didn't get it. And now I want to go fucking buy it. But it's not a great business decision. I'm struggling with that because I'm like, it's a better business decision to buy the new one. I don't really fucking care because I don't want that one. I want the other one. What do you guys think?
You want an older truck?
Yeah. I hate
By
this.
choice. Really?
Yes.
Why?
Well, no, because when that one came out in 2017, there was a whole thing that went on in my life, and someone said they would get that for me, and then they didn't fucking get it, and then it caused a lot of shit, and I didn't. And so now I could buy that 2017 exact model, exact truck I wanted. I found one.
So you can close out the tantrum
It would
of
be
not
like
getting the truck.
it would be like a 10-year, like a 5-year tantrum that's been going on. Yeah.
So you want to put the tantrum to rest.
6
To
years,
bed.
6 years, 6 years of well,
Sounds like a diva move.
does
What type of truck is it?
it's a Dodge Ram. You guys want to hear the whole story?
Yes.
Of
Because it is
course.
it's such a diva story. And it's like so we did this huge contract and we finished it. And at that time at Lake Ridge, everyone had a company truck but Mike. He was driving his 2003 Chevy Silverado 2500 that he owned. And the owner of the company came to me and said, "Listen, we just finished $1.3 million worth of work in 38 days. Go pick out whatever truck you want." Because that wasn't even the only job we had going on. We had 3 other jobs running at the time. He said, "Go pick out, tell me what truck you want. I'll go get it for you." I said, "Okay." And I wanted a Dodge Ram 3500 diesel crew cab.
Julie?
Dually.
Yeah.
That's what I've always wanted. Since I was 13 or 14, I've always wanted to do it. And so I don't think he knew how much those cost. So he was like, "Yeah, no problem. I'll get one. I'll get it, bring it to the yard." I said, "Cool." And then he showed up with a 2012 Dodge Ram 2500 SLT. It was actually a really nice truck, silver, but
But
it
not nice
wasn't.
enough.
It
Diva
wasn't the
move.
one that I wanted. And so he said, "Well, I thought about it, and a dually's a bitch to park, and it's so big, and it's going to be a big pain in your ass. So this is a better truck for you." And I was like, "Listen, fuckface, when you bought your stupid fucking Corvette that I think is an idiotic car, I didn't tell you it was too low and there's nowhere fucking put your luggage and its fucking roof's gonna leak and it eats tons of gas. I didn't tell you that because that was what you wanted, so I respected it." And that's also a time in my life when I realized this guy does not have my best interest at heart. He does not give a fuck about me. So the diva part of this story is
Oh, we
took
haven't gotten there yet.
oh no. This story gets way more diva. Ridiculous. And this is when you know you were almost done being near someone when things get this out of hand. I took the silver Dodge and I parked it in the corner of the yard and I never drove it. I let it sit there and it sat there for so fucking long that the frame started to rust and the rust was falling onto the gravel below it. And you could see the rust in the gravel because it literally sat there for months. And I was like, "Fuck that. I'm going to drive my old Chev." And then the conclusion of this story is I came home from work one day because this, like, this one, Kelly and I were also, I think we're always rebuilding our lives, but we were in particular rebuilding our life after the turmoil that we'd gone through. And she said, "Can you sell that fucking truck so we can take the kids to Jamaica while they're still kids?" And I was like, "Okay." She's like, "There's like a virtually brand new one in the fucking yard that you refuse to drive. So go sell this one and take the kids." I said, "Okay." And that was the end of it. And so then I started driving the silver Dodge. But that's a pretty diva-ish story, to park the truck and have no one drive it. I remember one guy drove it one day. He came to the yard for some reason and he drove it. And I remember that was like one of the craziest, most ballistic yellings of my life at that guy.
Just because he drove your
Well,
truck
he had
that you
come to
weren't
the
going
he
to
had
drive.
come to the yard for something, and the guy who owned everything had told him to take the truck somewhere. And I came back, it was gone, and I fucking lost my shit.
It just needed a safety or something like that.
I know, I don't know why. He's like, "Don't ever fucking touch that car." I'd fucking lose it anyway. So that's a pretty diva-ish story that I parked a truck for months because it wasn't the one that I wanted. But now I found the one that I wanted from back then, and I would rather have that one than a brand new one.
Really?
I hate brand new shit.
I love brand new things, but I'm under no illusions that they're going to stay shiny and new working at my company. Like they always fucking. And they don't necessarily get dinged or dented or whatever, but they'll always get dirty.
You're gonna put sod in the back?
Absolutely. If I need to, I'll do what needs to be done.
But financially, it makes more sense to buy the brand new dually,
Yes.
the Chevy Silverado,
Yeah.
and trade in the Veloster. The Veloster is on its way out, fellas.
Has it done what it needed to do?
What?
I mean, why not get a new Veloster?
They don't make them anymore.
Oh,
Okay.
I think they do. I don't
No.
know.
No, I don't think
No,
they do. I
I think
know.
they do.
Uh, no, I could be wrong.
Maybe they
I don't
don't.
know
What company makes a
anything.
Veloster, anyways?
Hyundai.
Hyundai.
Oh, is
Hyundai,
it?
Hyundai.
Hyundai Veloster. It's been okay. You know what? Like I've driven a truck for so long. Like most of my adult life, I drove a truck everywhere. I find it hard to like. I think I'm tired of trying to like peek around the corner to turn and stuff. And I'm also like going blind slowly, and the tinted windows and the low profile. It's really like I feel like I'm gonna kill someone at a crosswalk or something, turning left. Like someone's just gonna get thumped. So I like I feel like it's time to move on from the Veloster and get back into something that's tall.
So I'm wrong. You can still get a Veloster. 2022 Veloster N if you're in the
How much is
market.
that?
That would not be the diva move to get the
Starting
Veloster.
from
If you don't want to be a,
40,399.
a diva.
Velosters are $40,000.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
yeah. 275 horse in this.
That's a okay. I think my Veloster is like 100 horsepower, and it goes pretty good because it's so little. 275. I feel like that Veloster hauls ass.
Yeah. It's baby blue. Um, it also comes in black, white, red, silver, and brown.
Well, silver is my color in Velosters.
Yeah. You can go on the website. It's got a 360 view, the whole shebang.
Would you pay 40 grand for a Veloster?
Um, no. We have a Bronco, and I fucking hate the thing. My wife loves it. I would not buy that car again.
What? You have a brand new Bronco?
Yeah.
Why don't you like it? I think they're cool looking.
It's loud. It's uncomfortable. It's hard on fuel. My wife loves it. Hard to get into.
It's hard to get into. What
Yeah, we
kind
don't
of?
have a step. Like they sold it to us without like the running boards or whatever. So you
Oh,
could like leap into it every time.
so is what model of Bronco is it? Is it a two-door or four-door?
Four door, um, Badlands. So it's got the big tires and stuff like that. Whatever she want. That's the one she wanted. That's the one she chose. That's the one she got.
So how often do you go in it?
Uh, it's easier to get in there with my daughter, like with her car seat. So instead of taking it out or a booster seat, I bring it. What the fuck's going on with my computer? Um, I'll just hop in the Bronco instead of switching the booster seat and all that shit to my truck.
And that so you do drive this thing a fair bit then.
Yeah, too much. Too much.
I think the Broncos look cool, but I've never been in one, so I
Yeah.
can't judge how the driving of a Bronco is.
It's same as a Jeep, you know. They're just uncomfortable.
It's about the lifestyle.
Yeah. I don't like the whole wave they do to each other.
Who,
No,
Bronco people?
no Jeep people wave at each other. You experience this?
Is that a thing?
Yep. If you're in a Jeep and you're driving and you see another Jeep, you wave at them.
Have
Like it's a
you
fucking cult. That's
have
what
you
they do.
owned a Jeep?
Yep. My mom owned a Jeep. And whenever I was in high school and I'd take it and like middle-aged men and women would be waving at me and
Does that
it's
make you uncomfortable?
not really. I mean, it's just a wave, but I think it's stupid.
Well,
But
that's like
whatever.
motorcycle people all wave at each other.
Yeah. But their lives are at risk. I don't know if your life is
So
necessarily.
if you're riding a motorcycle and your life's at risk, the best thing you can do to
Hold
keep
it.
your life from being at risk is to take one hand off the handlebars and wave at someone else. I'm safe as fuck now.
You're safe as fuck.
I don't understand the waving either. I don't want to get to know more people.
Do you think did dump truck drivers wave at each other?
I wave at
Ever?
our trucks. Or if it's someone I know. You know what? I do. So I spoke out of turn. I do wave at people. Fuck. I just got screwed. There's lots of different dump trucks that so people recognize our bin, like the front of our bin trucks are very specific looking. And Christie's truck is very like everyone in Durham region knows Christie's truck. The Blue International is like a little because it's just like a Blue International, but a lot of people know it because people call me and they're like, "Man, that guy hauls ass." I'm like, "Yep, he does. He hauls ass." Fuck, no, he doesn't. He doesn't. He is like the slowest motherfucker there is. Listen,
Wow.
insurance. I'm telling you, the guy drives slow. So slow, we're thinking about letting him go. Just so insurance knows.
That intern's like, we got him.
We got him. We got him.
Clip it.
Can I get a raise?
That's the gravel guy Darian, the gravel guy.
Oh yeah,
he does a great job. It's so good. Yeah, I'm not. Lost my train of thought. I should say something smart.
Hit us with a one-liner.
Only you can.
Hit us with a one-liner. You can't shovel your way to a good price.
I've heard that one before.
I know.
I heard that one listening to the Kid Contractor podcast.
Oh damn.
Was I talking?
You were talking, or he was referencing you. I can't remember.
Oh.
I've sure shit tried to shovel my way out of a bad price.
That's what I'm saying. You can't shovel your way into a good price.
Yeah.
It's impossible. The only reason I brought that up is because I was talking to one of our guys about it today. That the internal pressure that the staff feels to get jobs done quickly and stuff, I'm like, I appreciate that. But the reality of the situation is once you're on the job and you have a shovel in your hand, your future is decided. It doesn't really matter what you do. Like you can't get the job done super fast and be more profitable. And if you took an extra couple days, you shouldn't go bankrupt. Like the decision was already made with the pen when you bid the job.
Yeah.
It was all pre-decided. True. If an owner has sold their whole season for next year, they've already decided on their profit for next year.
That's why you need a spreadsheet.
That's why you need a goddamn spreadsheet. And it's getting discontinued, so you should probably jump on board. I have never had a problem with the spreadsheet once since I received it from Mike. And because Mike's here, I'm going to say I've also not used it once, but I have not incurred a problem with it, and that's what you should remember. But the actual performance of the job, it's really hard to change what was already decided, in my view. Like if you've miscalculated the job and there's 900 square feet on the drawing and you've only allowed for 500, what those guys on the job do will never make up for your miscalculation. You can change the margin slightly by getting done a day early or kicking ass and getting done 2 days early and you could change it by being slow and getting done 2 days late. But really, the bulk of the profit was decided with the pen when the job was bid.
True. The only time that I've ever worried about being too slow on a job is not because I was worried about profit. It's because I was worried about having to get to another job that we're supposed to be on. So I'll agree with that.
And that's important for commercial, right?
Yeah, you can't delay these things.
Right.
You're like a little part, and you're usually the end part. And they want to get their whole back and all that shit. So that's important for them.
Yeah, and you don't want to get like a delay. It depends what some of the contracts have like delay back charges.
Yeah, which is insane for a little landscaper, right? Like you're dealing with multi-million-dollar civil contractors, and they want to find a landscaper who's like maybe $1 million company a year, 2 million, 3 million a year.
Yeah.
So
it's not a particularly fair system because the other thing is, when was the last time you got onto a job site on time? Like if someone said you're going to come on August 1st and we need you to be done by October 31st,
yeah,
more than likely they didn't even give you the job till October 15th.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's what, yeah, their timelines screw with yours. And then, I mean, by the end, everybody's so upset that they just want it wrapped up and you're fucking 3 months late. Not your own fault, just because the whole job took so much longer.
No construction project concludes on time. Some
Ever.
construction projects have 300 yards of extra dirt in the backyard.
That's not your
But
problem.
that's how you're probably.
I made a video of the buggy going up the hill, and I think I put "buggy to the moon" on this. Like, riding the. So, you know what the topic I want to discuss was
What's that?
the after hours part of the buggy life. Like everyone's the buggy life. The buggy moves this. The buggy moves that. You know what the buggy does? It makes your body sore as fuck. And no one talks about that part of the buggy life. It's like swept under the rug. The whole like bouncing and gyrating around and the standing constantly. And the one we have has these handles that you pull towards you and pull the other way to go forward and back.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
my grip strength is like 500 times normal, like than it was 3 days ago. But as I was bouncing on the buggy and struggling to roll my fat ass out of the Veloster onto the front lawn and then crawl to the front door, I realized that the thing that no one ever talks about in the buggy life is just how hard the buggy is on the physical being. Now, it's better than wheelbarrowing 300 yards of soil into a huge pile
Yeah.
taller than the fence. 100%. And only one of us ran the buggy, but it wasn't easy on the body. I'll say that. It was not like I literally was rolling out of the Veloster last night. I was like, I don't need to get a truck. It stimulated my thoughts that I also think that although I don't think it matters residentially what you show up in to the job site if you're good at sales. Residentially. This is just my opinion. I sold just as many jobs in the Veloster as I sold in a fucking truck. It didn't matter. But commercially, I'm like going to look at this job where we're supposed to haul 40 yards of topsoil off this house. Showed up in the Veloster, piled out, walk up, looking at the pile. The guy's like, who the fuck are you? Some kind of inspector? No, I'm here to look at the pile of dirt. He's like, I gotta haul it away. And it's like, what, with that little gray car? I'm like, fucking motherfucker. Stupid Veloster. So I think commercially it makes a difference what you show up in. I think that if you're trying to get a job, I can tell you quite frankly, trying to get a job hauling away 40 loads of dirt with a Veloster is not easy.
I don't know. I close commercial jobs in my underwear at home, not necessarily on the site. So,
Yeah, but if you drove to the site
In your underwear.
say you
my
had to
underwear.
say you had to like do like you and another contractor were exactly even and they wanted to interview both of you and the interview process was going to decide who got the job and you rolled up in the Bronco and
Yeah.
to your own testament basically fell out of it because there's no running boards and then like walked across and they're like, who's the pretentious guy in the Bronco who thinks he's all that?
I don't think it would go down like that. Have you seen
think
me?
I
I look like a fucking roofer. I'm covered in tattoos. It's not going to be the car that puts me off the job.
It'll be the roofing.
No, I look like a convict. It's not going to be the fact that I drove up in the Bronco. It's going to be the fact that I just look like I rolled out of jail.
Well, you could wear long sleeves and
I
try to
have my
keep your
neck tattooed.
palms curled down, get a big turtleneck. You know,
Yeah.
let the hair flow all over your face.
Because that's exactly what you want doing your landscape
Just in
job. The guy in the turtleneck
Well, but
in July.
obviously residential people don't care about your tattoos.
Yeah, I'm sure some of them do. I'm sure that's how we've weeded out a lot of shitty, judgmental homeowners.
That's
Because
true.
for the most part, we haven't had like the people that care about that stuff instead of caring about our portfolio and shit are the ones that will probably give us a hard time in other ways, and we've been able to weed out those people just by looking
Do you-
like
So
comment.
Chad's system to qualification is to get face tattoos.
Yeah.
Do you think, Chad, that a lot of the people that didn't hire you because they were judgmental of your tattoos then left Cornwall and moved to a retirement village in Kitchener?
And decided to get a pond where their fish get sucked up into the skimmer.
There's potential for that, I'm sure. Are you still having fish problems?
Did you shut that?
Have
Did
they
you
all
go in?
frozen by now?
Did you go down and shut down the pond for them?
I did, and there was a fish in the skimmer just floating around, belly up. And they're like, the guy's like, is there a fish in there at this time? I'm like, no.
No.
Mike
put the cover
squeezed
back
it and
on
puts it
and-
in his pocket so that the guy doesn't see.
What
No,
is
no
this?
fish in here.
What's a pond skimmer? Like, what does that look like? I know what a pool.
It's just like so you got the waterfall at one end and then the skimmer on the other end. So I don't know if you call it a skimmer, but that's where the water comes up and then goes into the pump, which goes back to the waterfall.
So, are you gonna be back to the pond in the spring to open it?
Yeah, because I work there quite often, and I'll probably open it up for them.
Are you gonna charge them?
Well, actually, I'm going to be doing more work there, so yes, I will be opening it for them.
Oh, so you're working at their house again?
Yeah.
Did you include that in your spreadsheet? Opening the pond?
I did not
When you did the
include
job?
getting the dead fish out of the skimmer in my spreadsheet, but I now have a line item in my spreadsheet
For
for getting
replacement
fish out of
fish?
this,
Dead fish.
getting dead fish out of the skimmer.
How many fish? Do you think that guy buys expensive koi?
So these are goldfish. The koi seem to be a bit smarter. He's got like 3 koi and then a lot of goldfish, and then he got like a lot of mystery fish. So all of a sudden, one day, he must have got like 50 minnows just show up out of nowhere, and now those minnows are eating all the food of the other fish. So he got a fish problem. Everywhere fish are dying, except these minnows that showed up out of nowhere.
Maybe they came from the skimmer.
They were, yeah.
Do you think that someone who doesn't like the guy just came and released a bunch of minnows in his pond just to see the fuck show that it would become?
Yeah.
Do you
That
guys
could've
follow the guy on Instagram called Fitz's Ponds? Fitz's Fish Ponds?
No.
This guy like flies to Japan. I don't know why I follow him because I don't like ponds and have nothing to do with it. Not sure how he ended up on my. I've sometimes I look at him like, wow, I follow like 2,000 people. I'm like, who are these people? Like, I don't. But one of them is this pond guy, and man, this guy goes to Japan and buys fish that are worth like 10 grand.
Wow. To eat or to?
No, they're koi to bring back. He buys them in bulk and then sells them at his fucking thing
10 grand is the bulk price?
for one fish. Yeah.
I'm not sure how you buy one fish in bulk.
Well, no, because
Koi get really expensive.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
he's buying like 10 fish, but he's buying them. There it was.
I just
Fitz-
found it. Yeah.
Fitz Fish Ponds.
Yeah.
But like, you should see the first. Look at the post, like the one he just posted. Look at the size of those fish, and then
I know.
they're getting shipped in boxes, and then they're pulling them out of boxes of water and like, you got to look this up. It's crazy. Are you watching the very first reel, Mike?
Yeah, I am.
It's insane.
Yeah, they're massive.
But did you see how
They
many?
get shipped in literal boxes. Yeah.
Did you see how many boxes the guy bought?
Oh yeah.
Like there's like 100 fish that are worth like 10K each.
So those look like fish that would not get stuck in a skimmer.
It would have to be a big motherfucking skimmer. Like that would be a big skimmer. Like I don't know why I follow that account other than it's like hyper interesting. And I mean the fish are crazy. Oh,
I'm following them.
it up now. It's
I should give it a
FITZ
follow.
Fish Ponds. Fish Ponds. Yeah.
I'm gonna follow it on Landscape Daddy.
Fucking follow on Landscape Daddy. I was gonna ask a question like is Mike the only one dumb enough to use his main account for this? A landscape daddy is the
Try
smart.
and sue me now.
Hey, we've
Um,
got a couple new reviews. Should I read one of
yes,
them?
Read them all.
Read
read
them
them all.
both?
Yeah,
All
read
right.
them.
Oh,
Read them.
JZ Wick. Last week, I was on my way to find a tilt rotator to attach my legs to and spin them off so I could just get out of this hardscape grind. On the way, I listened to my first Not Our Finest Hour podcast. They saved my life. Mike's love for tilt rotators has led me to invest heavily in tilt rotator companies. Chad's happy go lucky attitude lifts my spirits so high. I cannot wait to hardscape all winter long while listening to the best podcast out there.
that's
So did your
an
mom write
incredible
that?
review.
That was Jay-Z Wick. That was an incredible review.
That was an amazing review. I love
Yeah.
Jay-Z Wick. We should give him a shout out on our Instagram.
And we've got another one. Swaving Landscapes. The title of his review is Goons. By the way, these are both 5-star reviews.
5-star goons.
Yeah. These three guys make me laugh each episode. Sometimes they give good advice, then the next second, just plain stupidity that'll make you laugh and roll your eyes. Great podcast.
Awesome. Can't ask
Who's
for
in
more than
charge
that.
of the plain stupidity? Thank you for the review. Who's in charge of the plain stupidity?
Oh yeah.
Let's not name names here.
So we've already covered who gives good advice. Who's the one on this podcast that gives the best advice? Yeah, who provides the most stupidity?
Oh, wow. I'm not going to raise my hand to this one.
We don't have to answer that.
Who provides the most stupidity? I don't know.
I don't
I don't know. Who provides the dumbest stories? I'm going to go with that.
Wow.
Literally just told a story about how I parked a truck for 6 months out of pure bitterness.
All right, guys, you want to get to our end of the year episode?
Yeah,
Yeah.
are you going to stop recording this then?
Well, no, you just close this out here, Mike.
Oh, we're stopping recording this so we can talk about something else that you're not supposed to hear about. So this is the end of the episode. Have a great night or day or morning or whenever you choose to listen, because we don't really know when you are listening, but have a great time when you are listening. And know that when you listen to this podcast, it might not be a good time, it might not be a bad time, but we guarantee it will be a time.
Nice.